Oh no, Reddit bros, our front page of the internet has been hacked. How are we supposed to research anything? How are we supposed to know how to think or what to think? And what about our Reddit accounts? Oh no, what about our Karma Reddit bros and all the niche, interesting communities that we're members of? Well, luckily, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff because yes, some of Reddit's internal systems had been hacked, but nobody's personal user accounts were affected by this security incident, at least according to the post on Reddit in the r/Reddit subreddit. Now, right here at the top, we've got a TLDR, which I know that's a common thing that we see on really long Reddit posts or really long posts on any internet forum, really. But it would be nice to see something like this become more common when it's coming from companies that are having security incidents. Because when you, as a customer, get an email or you get a notification in some way that a platform that you've been using, a platform that you've given your personal details, your financial details, bank account info, credit card info, etc. to, when you find out that that gets hacked, the first thing that you're wondering is, okay, how does this affect me? What do the hackers know about me? Is my information floating around on the dark web? And this might make you feel panicked, right? So you click on the email, you go to the website and you're scrolling through, you're trying to find their blog or whatever. You're trying to figure out what has happened. And so the odds that you in this panic state are going to be able to parse these like 7 paragraphs of information, it just ain't going to happen. So you need a TLDR. You need these few sentences here for the panicked people to read it to just summarize the issue, at least whenever that's appropriate. So TLDR, based on our investigation so far, Reddit user passwords and accounts are safeu. But on Sunday night, Pacific time, Reddit systems were hacked as a result of a sophisticated and highly targeted phishing attack. And the hackers gained access to some internal documents, code, and some internal business systems. Now, what really happened is the hacker was conducting a phishing campaign, as they said, where they were sending out these prompts that were telling the employees to authenticate to a web portal that appeared to be a legitimate internal intranet gateway, one of those internal systems that only Reddit employees are supposed to be able to access, but not people from the outside. And, at least it did appear to be a legitimate gateway to one Reddit employee. But in reality, this was, of course, a fake portal that was controlled by the hacker. So when the one employee that fell for this authenticated through that fake gateway, the hacker was able to use the employee's stolen credentials, which are, of course, are going to be a username and password, but there's also 2-factor authentication tokens that the employees have to use as well. So the hacker got all of that, and then they were able to access Reddit's internal systems. They were able to steal those internal documents, code, and information about their business systems. But of course, none of the production systems, none of these servers that actually host the reddit.com website, your heckin' subreddit is safe, your heckin' karma is safe. All the personal information with your user accounts, all those naughty DMs, all of that stuff is safeu in secret, or, at least Reddit probably knows about it, but nobody outside of Reddit knows. Now, a big reason why nothing critical was affected by this security breach is the fact that the one employee that messed up and got hacked, fell victim to this phishing attack, actually self-reported the incident to Reddit's security team soon after. And they were able to quickly lock down that employee's account, and they were able to boot out the hacker so that they could then do their analysis and see what systems were affected. Now, I don't know specifically how many employees were actually sent this phishing message, but it sounds like several of them would have gotten it. I mean, we have to imagine that there's maybe a dozen or so people that are working in this department. I mean, Reddit is a big website, right? Front page of the internet. So several people probably got it. And of course, only one employee fell for it. And since they self-reported, that makes me think that one of two things happened. Either the hacker infiltrated very loudly. Like right after they got that employee's credentials, they, boom, went to try and log in, and then maybe that immediately booted the employee out. Or the hacker's actions caused some other unusual activity to occur that made the employee realize, ooh, okay, that email from Bob in IT must have been fake. But more likely what happened was this so-called sophisticated phishing attack that Reddit alludes to actually wasn't all that sophisticated. Like, I'm sure that it was a spear phishing campaign. Okay, they say that it was a targeted attack, so I'm sure that the hacker did do enough work to figure out what the employees' names were so that they could email them, and they said, "Hi, Bob Smith, we need you to click here," and maybe they thought of a pretty good legitimate reason for them to click on that thing, and they probably even did the work to figure out what this specific intranet portal looks like so that they could copy it and make it look exactly like. They did a little bit of legwork to trick people into doing this. I believe that. Maybe they actually spelled everything in the email correctly, and maybe they actually used proper grammar. Maybe they used one of these AIs like ChatGPT to write the phishing email for them. I mean, that's something that might actually help out these hackers, because a lot of the time it seems like English is a second language for them. So if ChatGPT can write essays that are good enough for professors to give you a passing grade on them, it could probably write better phishing emails. At least better than the poor excuses that we see in the wild most of the time. But it doesn't matter, because if you're the kind of person that knows what phishing emails look like, you're probably not going to ever fall for something like this. Hell, the fact that this employee self-reported tells me that part of them probably knew that this was a scam. It's just, I guess that part didn't really click until after they entered their credentials and their two-factor token. But hey, it's better for them to have figured it out late than never, because of course, in the write-up, Reddit says that they became aware of this on late February 5th, 2023, which does check out with the common tactic of hackers hitting companies on the weekends when there are fewer people online, and they can hopefully compromise an employee and get a lot of time in the systems on their own. So if this employee had kept their mouth shut, thinking that they wouldn't get in trouble if they didn't say anything, or that it's just not their problem anymore, it's the security team's problem, then nobody would have noticed this until Monday morning. And if the hacker was inside of Reddit systems the entire night, then they could have done a whole lot of damage in those hours. They could have stolen a whole lot of data and probably have already created their post on breach forums selling the stolen database. So it's really, really important, if you think that you messed something up, if you think you fell for a phishing scam or something like that, to just own up to it and report it to your organization's security team immediately, because every second counts right after you've been compromised. And in these digital systems, there's logs kept of everything, okay? Every time somebody logs in, and there's gonna be records that are kept of emails, even if you delete them. And it's not like the hacker can delete these logs. I mean, maybe they can delete local stuff like from what they've done, and probably not even all of that, because typically these logs are uploaded every hour or every day to an external system where then there's no way that they can be tampered with. So the point is, if you do get compromised and you know what happened, you're like, I'm just gonna wait, hopefully I'm not going to get caught. No, your organization is going to figure out that you were the one who got compromised. And if you kept your mouth shut, then they could potentially think that you were an insider and take criminal action against you. So I'm just going to say that as long as this particular security breach that Reddit had, if it doesn't evolve like the LastPass one, and we find out in a couple of more weeks that, hey, actually there were some more systems that were accessed, and yeah, there was some user data that was released, basically all of the DMs of everyone that was subscribed to the r/furry subreddit, all of that was accessed. But yeah, as long as the information that was leaked remains non-critical, then I think that this particular security incident will serve as a perfect example of how people should handle security breaches. The problem was explained to the public in 2 sentences that are so simple, even the most panicked, non-tech savvy person would be able to understand what happened. Most of the employees did know better, that it was a phishing email and didn't fall for it. And the one employee that did screw up came clean about it quickly. All in all, well handled, Reddit.